Hello, Florence, and hello to everybody joining in for our conversation of Culture Vultures today.
Hi, Bettina. Good evening. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. Good to have you back today. We thought about discussing several topics, but the one that stood out today for us was how to deal with obviously racist family members. Now, every one of us eventually crosses people who are obviously racist, and then you can distance yourself quite easily if that's not someone that you either need to communicate with, or also someone that you actually love, that's in your environment, and you want them to be the person that you can love, right? And then maybe that topic of racism gets in the way. So what to do when you have someone in your family and they make a racist comment? What would you do?
You know, that reminds me of my mom, my German mom, and she always told me when she decided to take me into her family, I was really small, and her family was white, of course, that she had to explain to the people what is okay to say and what not, because I was the first Black person in that family. Yeah, and she had to teach these people. And, or in that case, those people, because they are not alive anymore. And I always thought how brave that was. I mean, she was born 1924, and cultural awareness was nothing that she knew about, but she just did it. Yeah. And I thought how brave that she told the people certain words or certain behaviors or attitudes are not okay. And of course, I also come across people in my environment. They are different to the attitude that I have or I would like to have for other people. And then I also ask myself, what can I do? I mean, can I just tell them, listen, talk to my hand, I don't want to have anything to do with you? Then, I mean, you give a certain kind of situation or atmosphere in the family. And I don't want to give a bad atmosphere into other families when I'm only a guest, for example. Yeah. So it's not easy.
No, not at all. I guess it's all about boundaries as well. And you don't want to hurt those that you love. But if there is really a racist comment and you think I can't possibly either continue that conversation, I think we need to start with really asking ourselves, do we want to educate someone, or do we just want to set a boundary? Right?
Yeah.
And am I hoping to change their mind? Am I hoping that they will learn from what I'm sharing, like your mama did, right? Or do I just want to make it clear that I will not tolerate this?
Yes, that's right.
And I guess, I mean, for you, that's very important to know, because you might be subject to racism more often than I am, if we are realistic here, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, as a mom, you have to protect your child.
Yeah.
And then you can either tell the other person, listen, either you have to reflect your attitude if you still want to be a guest in my house, or you're not allowed to come anymore. But for example, for me, if someone from the other family is or has a kind of racist attitude, I would not like to say either you change or you are not allowed to come into my house. For example, it's the father of a friend, or it's, I don't know, the brother of a friend, a relative. Yeah. So do I want to tell the friend of mine, listen, when that person comes, I won't visit you anymore? Yeah. Or when I'm invited and I know there is someone there who is racist, that I say, well, then I won't come. I guess I would do it. I don't know.
Why not challenge their empathy, saying, have you ever thought how hurtful that could be for me? Can you imagine how hurtful that can be for me? so that they are really asked to think about what they just said.
You know, what is difficult is that you then have to put yourself into the center of attention. Because you ask the person, have you ever thought about my feelings? And for me, it was always shameful to put myself into the center and to say, you have to change for me.
For me and everyone else in my situation, everyone else you talk about in that way.
Yeah, but that's not what the people see. They say, oh, I'm not talking about you, or I'm not talking about the others. Yeah.
However, aren't they?
Yes, but if there is nobody else who tries to fight for you, and you have to say, listen, what you say hurts me. Oh, that's something I mean, I learned to do it, but it's nothing that is easy.
No, not at all. And I don't want to diminish it. However, it might help the other person think for the first time, because if they say, oh, I didn't mean you, they obviously didn't think.
That's right.
I would, maybe that's a little bit forward, but I would assume, right?
I mean, that's the best case. Yeah. The worst case is that the person is really is a racist. That's the worst case, and the person wants to hurt you. The person, or even not wants to hurt you. It's the opinion of that person. Yeah,
and then you have the right to say, I'm sorry, but I do not like to continue this conversation with you.
Yes, of course.
If it's that obvious. However, if it's not obvious and you have a chance to preserve that relationship, because it's either the topic or the relationship, right? Then you have several different ways of doing it, right? Saying it out loud, this comment is racist. I'm not okay with it. How do you see it? And then invite the other person maybe to reflect. And if they still don't do it, to disengage. I could imagine. I don't know. You have certainly more experience here. But
so
then, sorry.
No, when people talk to me about this kind of a topic, I always hope that the white people then steps in, and not that the person who has another color or comes from another culture has to defend him or herself.
So for you, you would be grateful if there was an ally.
Yes.
Stepping in. We talked about allies, right?
That's right.
Supporting your opinion, and maybe from their perspective, their white perspective, the same that the racist person has. Explains why it is not okay. Yes, I could imagine doing that totally.
You know, I spoke to someone, and she is black, and she has a child. The child is not as black as the mom, but still the child knows my mom is black. And whenever they go to the grandma, so her mother-in-law, she always has to listen to really, really bad things. And when the child says, "Grandma, that's racist," then the mother is told, "You have to teach your child to talk better to me. Look, she is talking."
Have respect for the elders, right?
And she is disrespectful. That's right. And then I also thought, wow, that is really difficult, because on the one hand, you don't want to take your child away from the grandma. On the other hand, I would love to take my child and say, you know what? I don't want to talk to you anymore. So
I think that's the moment where people have to learn to separate behavior from the person.
Yes.
If at all possible. And if, as I said, that relationship is really important and you want to preserve it, then you need to separate it if you can.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess that's probably what you can do when you have, or in a multicultural or mixed family, really creating a safe space where those conversations can happen.
Right?
Where respect is mutual and people can express that they are not okay with certain things that are said or being said.
Yes. Yeah.
All
And
right. So I
tell the
hope you
other
do not.
person either you change or we don't want you in our circle, in our environment. That's also something.
Absolutely. So I hope you do not come across a lot of people who have those comments in your family. Does it happen?
I create a safe space in my family, and whenever there would be someone, I would say it once, twice, and that's it. Yeah. And then I don't want to talk to that person anymore. I'm too old to take all this nonsense. Yeah. So, but no, I have a really safe space in my family. We are really close together, and we don't tolerate nonsense. That's it.
Like that.
Yeah, that's it. As easy as that. We don't tolerate nonsense.
Then thank you, Florence, for today's sharing. I think it's an interesting topic that needs to be discussed.
Yes.
And if people listening to this talk come across people making racist comments, think exactly what you're saying. Are you being an ally, helping others? Are you brave enough to call it out, I think is the expression. Think about it. It's really important that we do not accept racism in language, in behavior, and in our society.
That's right. So thank you again for asking me this topic, because it's really very special and necessary.
Thank you, and you're very welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.